Some other useful built-in functions and methods are some parsers or functions or methods which allow you to transform certain values. And I want to explain some of these built-in functions to you. So imagine you have a variable a, which is a string of, well, 5. But it's not a number, it's a string. And then I could print this variable, of course, and unsurprisingly, we would see a string of 5. Now I can also call the parseInt method, which is also available on the window object, so in the global scope. And if I now hit run, what do you think we'll see now? Well, now I get 5 as a number. So this transforms a string into a number, or at least it tries to. What do you think we'll see if I have some text which should be hard to be transformed into a number? Well, we get another number because it's not possible. But it will try its best to, well, get your string into a number. You're not only able to transform, let's say, something like this, but imagine you have a string of f, bb, 1, 2, 3, so some hexadecimal string here. What do you think we'll now get if I hit run? Not a number, because still, this is some string it doesn't know. But parseInt takes another argument optionally. Here, I can specify the, well, base number of digits, so in which system I'm operating. And the default is, of course, the decimal system. But I can change this to hexadecimal, for example. And now if I hit run, I get a number. So this is now transformed from hexadecimal to an integer. And you will probably not need this all the time, but there might be use cases where you do need it. And it's important to understand that JavaScript offers you the tools to transform text in general into integers, or even something like hexadecimal numbers or text here into an integer. Other useful functions would be, let's say if we have a real number here and we want to transform this into a string, we can call toString on that, because toString is a method defined in the object.prototype. And as explained, this is the base prototype of all the objects. Therefore, every object by default has this toString method here. So if I clear this and run it now, what do you think we'll get? Well, we get a string of 10. So this number was now transformed into a string. Again, this is possible on each object in JavaScript. And what do you think I'll get if I have 10.3 and I execute toFixed? And we saw this function being used earlier in this course when we had this problem with the floating point number. So what do you think we'll now get if I hit run? Well, 10. toFixed just basically rounds it, and we have to specify the number of decimal places here as an argument. For example, 2, which would give us this result. But the default, if we don't specify any argument, is just to round it without any decimal places, just to, in this case, 10. So these were some basic built-in parsers or ways to transform values. And there are more, and you will find a more detailed list or a link to that in the cheat sheet attached to the end of this module, of course.